Grand Rising, family of light. How is everyone doing out there? Welcome to my Saturday Night Live. My name is Ismael Perez. I am the author of those amazing books behind me, The Secret Government, Visible Architects, and of course, Our Cosmic Origin. Well, I'm just going to be real, guys. I'm only here because of, because what's the word I'm looking for? By a miracle, I guess. Last night my server broke down, my monitor in which I'm watching you guys. My laptop's been broken for a year. So without my server, without my monitor, I can't really do anything. I can't go live. I can't teach classes. And so all night, my monitor wasn't working as to why I didn't schedule my live until this morning or this early afternoon. And somehow, by miracle, by an act of miracle, all right, by divine design, my monitor began to work 2 hours prior to my first class at 1 o'clock. So I'm only here by miracle, okay? It was meant for me to come online and share with you guys what I needed to share today. So I'm excited about tonight's live. I'm going to be connecting what's happening here, which is a recurring reality phenomena that actually occurred during the times of Atlantis. How is everyone doing out there? I hope you guys are having a fantastic day, morning, or evening, depending on where you're at in the world. Can you guys hear me, right? I disconnected this mic because I don't think this mic is really working much. So I'm going to go ahead and just continue speaking. Today is what? Saturday, the 1st of February, or 2025. Hey, I got the date right? I never do. So we are on a positive timeline trajectory, at least us here, right? Not those that are going to be, by will going into the technocratic dystopia. But yes, we are definitely on a positive timeline trajectory. And so I have a lot of great information today that I wanted to share with you guys regarding what happened during the times of Atlantis, the truth regarding what happened during the times of Atlantis. Now, this is the information that even those within the spiritual awakening community don't really talk about because, there are some double agents in our community that are talking about the new golden age, right? The new earth, but yet are still promoting AI and they're still promoting technology, right? External technology, artificial intelligence, nanotech, and all that stuff, which is not good. So we're going to get down to what really happened during the times of Atlantis and how technically history is repeating itself. Okay, so we're going to go a little deep today. I do want to welcome everyone that's in the house. Thank you so much for being here. I am so grateful for each and every single one of you. Those that are on the chat in the live, and of course, those that watch it on the replay. Thank you guys so much for being here. This means a lot to me. So I'm going to go ahead and just get right to it. But I do want to remind you guys that next week, I will be at the Conscious Live Expo, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and I think even Monday morning. But in either case, I'm going to be there. So I don't think I'm going to be going live next Saturday. Let's see, anything else? Yes. Oh, yes. I will be doing a White Hat Monday report this coming Monday in 2 days. Okay. A lot of good intel's coming in regarding what's happening with the mass arrest of the cabal, the deep staters, and much more. It's happening already in real time. So, we're living in some exciting times, right, guys? We are living definitely in some exciting times. Anything else that I wanted to remind you guys? Oh yeah, I just wanted to also thank each and every single person that voted for my book. The deadline was yesterday. I think I might have gotten the book award. I'm not sure, but I'm feeling that I am going to win that book award thanks to the support of all the Galactic Jedis. Okay, let's get right into the intel. So in tonight's intel, I'm going to take us back to what happened during the times of Atlantis. So as you guys know, throughout history, humanity has witnessed cycles of technological advancement and moral, decline, okay? Where, we see golden ages happening, and then there is a decline in the golden age. Well, why do you think these golden ages begin to decline? Well, guess again. For those that haven't answered that question, it's because of artificial intelligence, okay? First and foremost, artificial intelligence is nothing new, okay? This is something that has been in existence for a very long time, not just here in our world, in ancient civilizations, but also in other worlds, okay? So one such cycle did occur during the ancient civilization of Atlantis, where the transhumanist agenda was at the forefront of the genetic experimentation and artificial intelligence. paralleling the developments of our modern world and what's happening today with big tech. Okay, at the center of the Atlantean movement was, of course, Enki. Contrary to what other people say about Enki, Enki was not for humanity. In fact, Enki was against humanity, and I will explain. All right, so center to this Atlantean movement that led to the decline was Enki Poseidon. He was known as Poseidon to the Greeks, Enki to the Sumerians. Okay, so the master genetist, also known as the master geneticist, whose pursuit of transhumanist ideals ultimately led to the downfall of the once thriving civilization of Atlantis. Now, today, as Silicon Valley and big tech corporations push humanity towards the technological singularity, we are seeing history repeating itself again, teetering once again on the precipice of an existential catastrophe. But nothing to worry about, because the difference now and then is that now we are being afforded a different timeline where a new Earth that is not part of this, technological decline is also emerging at the same time, all right? So a new Earth is already being birthed, right? Where there is no AI, where there is no 5G, where there is no chemtrails, where there is no centralized forms of government, but equality and freedom. So that new Earth is also emerging as I speak, and I'm going to be talking about that in a little bit. So in Atlantean times, Enki was a prominent figure among the Anunnaki, all right? The advanced extraterrestrial beings believed to have influenced early human civilizations according to every account. So as a master geneticist, Enki sought to improve and manipulate life through genetic engineering. And his ultimate goal was to, believe it or not, was to um, perverse and corrupt the original Adamic blueprint, which was divine in its original context, right? I talked about this before. The original Adam and Eve were a 12-strand DNA Terneusian race, or began as a 12-strand DNA Terneusian race, right? They were fully connected to Source in their entire capacity, didn't age, didn't die. They lived forever. They were true immortals, okay? Enki just kind of threw a monkey wrench in that, okay? So his creation included, of course, hybrid beings, okay? Part human and part animals, which is what we call today chimeras. So that he believed would enhance the workforce and push the boundaries of biological evolution. However, these abominations were unnatural distortions of the original divine blueprint, leading to a societal instability and moral corruption. The Atlanteans, intoxicated by their technological prowess at the expense of their spiritual growth, due to the influence of Enki and his two sons. Are you ready for this? Marduk, who later became Baal or Belial to the Babylonians, the chief god of Babylon, and Thoth the Atlantean. Yes, Thoth the Atlantean was not a good guy. He defected from the Order of Light and joined the dark side, right? He joined his father Enki, and he hijacked Enoch. Enoch was the true scribe of God, as recorded in the book of Genesis. It wasn't Thoth, right? Enoch was the true Hermes Trismegistus. It wasn't Thoth. Thoth was a reptilian. He was known as the plump serpent to the ancient Mayans. All right, so, however, these abominations were unnatural distortions of the original divine blueprint, leading to societal instability and moral corruptions. The Atlanteans, intoxicated by their technological prowess, lost touch with their spiritual essence. And this is what they're trying to do again. But we are living in different times. Now, there is a great deal of us that are actually cultivating the spiritual essence that once caused Atlantis to thrive in its golden age. And that's the reason why the new Earth is also emerging, right? So basically, they lost touch back then with their spiritual essence, right? Relying heavily on their artificial creations rather than their inherent connection to Source. And this unchecked experimentation, driven by the hubris of Atlantean scientists and rulers, led to dire consequences. So as Enki's creations proliferated, they disrupted the natural order, causing widespread chaos and ultimately inviting the wrath of cosmic forces. It is believed that divine intervention, possibly through a cataclysm event such as the Great Deluge, was necessary, and I talked about this before, to purge the world of these unnatural mutations, these hybrids, the Nephilim, which were the children hybrids of the fallen Anunnaki and Earth humans, right? So the great flood needed to happen, right, by the forces of light. Enlil Jehovah Zeus, who was the representative of Michael the Archangel on the fifth dimensional level of reality during those days. So that was all necessary to purge the world of these unnatural mutations. Atlantis, which was once a beacon of advanced civilization, crumbled beneath the weight of its own technological excess. Okay, so fast forward to the present day. And as we see this early similarities taking place once again between Atlantis and our current trajectory through the big techs, Silicon Valley, the modern cradle of technological innovation, which is leading humanity towards what they call a technological singularity. But again, guys, we don't have to worry about ending up in that timeline. It's not going to happen for the righteous. The righteous, the good people of the earth, will reap the new earth that is right now currently coexisting with that timeline, but very soon they will separate. Okay, so the rise of bioengineering, genetic modification, artificial intelligence, and cybernetic enhancements mirrors the Atlantean pursuit of artificial evolution. Tech moguls and scientists, much like the Atlanteans elites, believe that they are ushering in a new era or a new age of human enhancement through transhumanism. Neural implants such as Neuralink, right? The Trojan horse, you guys know what I'm talking about. AI-driven decision-making, tech and genetic modifications are marked as progress, right? That's what they consider progress in developing what they call human 3.0. But they do risk severing our connection to the natural evolution and, of course, our spiritual growth and our connection to God. So the consequences of tampering with human genetics and consciousness are unknown, but history suggests that such hubris often leads to downfall, as demonstrated during the times of Atlantis. Moreover, the ethical implications of AI-driven societies definitely raise concerns about control, manipulation, and the erosion of free will. Just as the Atlanteans lost control over their creation, modern civilizations face the same danger as AI surpasses human authority, leading to a loss of autonomy. It is a world where machines dictate reality, right? Humanity risk becoming subservient to its own technological progeny. So this is where AI becomes at the level of super AI. We're not there yet, but I believe that within the private sector, we have reached that level as to why everything's now being manipulated by this super AI system. But again, the solar flash is going to destroy it. And, we're not going to be a part of that system. But we are going to be giving a choice, okay? The warnings from Atlantis serve as a cautionary tale, apparently. So if humanity continues down the path without integrating the wisdom, ethics, and spirituality into technological advancement, we may once again face a collapse of civilization. The choice remains, will we repeat the mistakes of the past, or will we learn from the Atlanteans and ensure that technology only serves as a tool for enlightenment rather than a harbinger of destruction? So that's why I am against the development of super AI. Because once we put super AI, right, through these supercomputers in place, that is it. There is no way of going back. That's why they call it the final invention. So again, this is not going to be in our reality, guys. This is going to happen in the reality of the technocrats, okay? Not our reality. We're going into a different timeline very, very soon. So as the world stands at a precipice right now, there are two distinct realities emerging. On the one side, we have a technocratic dystopia disguising itself as a golden age, right? As they call it that, where it acts as an where artificial intelligence, transhumanism, and digital control promises a utopia future, yet instead it strips humanity of its true essence, which is our connection to God. So on the other side, a new earth is also rising, a realm where awakened humans reclaim their sovereignty, which is what's happening with us, activating our full potential, which is what's happening at the cellular level through the activation of the CMEs, right? We are becoming mutated into reaching our full capacity, naturally, of course, without integrating with technology. Free from the control of governments. In the new earth, there will be no government. Every single one of you will be a government unto yourself as you accomplish what is known as 100% sovereignty. No governments, no corporations, and no elites. This is what's going to happen in the new earth, right? So this bifurcation of realities represents the greatest transformation humanity has ever faced, which is a choice between an artificial controlled future and an organic ascension, which is also going to be happening at the same time, into a higher dimensional existence. So let's talk about this false age of technocratic dystopia. So the ruling elites who have long sought dominion over the planet are now leveraging advanced technology through artificial intelligence and synthetic biology to establish a controlled utopia, a world in which human freedom is exchanged for digital convenience and neural integration into a machine-run system. If you guys don't believe me, look up the Internet of Bodies and the Internet of Things, which is a collective system connecting all devices into one big global technological grid. Okay, that's what this whole thing is with the building of smart cities and so on and so forth. So that this dystopian vision, which was spearheaded by Silicon Valley and globalist technocrats, promotes a post-human future where the organic self is replaced by artificial enhancements, promising increased longevity and intelligence at the cost of their spiritual connection. This is what's going to be known as the false golden age. Okay, this is also known as the great deception that is coming. But again, this is what's going to give humans the choice, right? Because at the same time, we're also seeing the emergence of a new earth where none of this exists, none of this bad stuff. So in this false golden age reality, right, which is very similar to what we see in the movie The Matrix, people are granted material abundance, right? Smart cities, and AI governance, but at the cost of their sovereignty, right? Free thought is replaced with algorithmic control, and bodily autonomy is threatened by gene editing and nanotechnology and cybernetic implants. And if you guys don't believe that this is already happening, I did pull up a article by a newspaper called Nature that states that human trials of artificial wombs could start very soon. Here's what you need to know. U.S. regulators will consider clinical trials of a system that mimics the womb, which could reduce deaths and disability for babies born extremely premature. So I guess that's the pretense in which they're going to roll this out. But very, very soon, women, well, in this technocratic dystopia, not in our reality, of course, in this technocratic dystopia, women will no longer be carrying babies, right? The babies are going to be artificially inseminated into a like an artificial womb. In other words, they're going to create NPCs, okay? Because once they do that through gene editing, which is called CRISPR, the baby has no soul at that point. It has no soul. So what they want to do in this technocratic dystopia is they want to create NPCs, but in mass numbers, okay? So this scenario apparently mirrors the final days of Atlantis, okay, where genetic experiments led by beings like Enki, Poseidon, created hybrid abominations, disconnecting humanity from its divine potential. The Atlanteans, having once thrived as an enlightened race, fell into technological corruption, seeking immortality through artificial means. Right? That sounds familiar. Seeking immortality through artificial means rather than spiritual evolution. Their downfall came when their hubris, led to an environmental and energetic collapse, much like the Great Reset unfolding in today's world. So let's talk about the true golden age of Mother Earth, right? What we call the new Earth. So, amidst the illusion of the technocratic future, another reality is unfolding, one that cannot be controlled by artificial intelligence or synthetic manipulation. And that is the emergence of a new Earth, which is the true golden age, a true golden age reality where humanity ascends into higher consciousness, awakening their full capacity of mind, body, and spirit. This future is not governed by external authorities, but by the internal mastery of each sovereign being. Okay? And this is where we are heading, by the way. In this higher dimensional reality, humans no longer require artificial enhancements because they rediscover their true organic technology, the light body, right? The crystalline, multi-dimensional form that allows us for interdimensional travel, instant healing, and limitless access to cosmic wisdom. So, no longer bounded by the constraints of a third dimensional matrix, this ascended being operates at a frequency beyond control, free from all disease, aging, and manipulation. As part of this transition into the new earth, all illnesses will be cured, not through pharmaceuticals or genetic modification, but through the activation of the body's natural regenerative capabilities. The suppressed knowledge of frequency medicine, scalar energy, and quantum healing will be restored, enabling individuals to repair DNA, extend lifespan naturally, and exist in perfect harmony with universal energy. The new Earth reality will be decentralized and free from government control as people no longer depend on external structures to dictate their lives. Communities will be self sustaining, working in harmony with nature, powered by clean, limitless energy sources such as zero point energy and plasma technology. Education will be centered around spiritual evolution, energy mastery, and interdimensional travel rather than indoctrination and control. So, but before we arrive at that reality, which is already coexisting with the negative reality, there will be a timeline split. So it's a matter of making the right choice for the normies, the unawakened. Of course, we on the chat and those that watch this on the replay, we've already made that choice. We choose to align with the organic ascension, the organic timeline, right? So the divergence of these two timelines, the technocratic dystopia and the organic ascension, marks the final battle between artificial control and divine liberation. So each individual must consciously choose which path they will follow. Those who remain in fear and dependence will be drawn into the digital matrix, merging with AI and becoming part of the transhumanist collective. Meanwhile, those who awaken to their true nature will elevate into the higher frequencies of the new earth, experiencing freedom, abundance, and unity consciousness. The transition is already underway, right? And the signs are clear. While the technocrats push their dystopian agenda, people across the world are breaking free, rediscovering ancient wisdom, healing themselves, and remembering who they truly are. This is the final test for humanity. Will we succumb to the synthetic illusion, or are we going to rise into our divine inheritance, into our divine inheritance? I say the second. Would you guys agree? Okay. So the technocratic golden age is a false promise, okay, designed to lure humanity into a controlled system where artificial intelligence replaces organic evolution. And this is already happening through a phenomenon known as the SWS, the Sentient World Simulator, which is already working with Google's quantum D-Wave, the quantum computer known as D-Wave, which was perfected in 2018. Right. So through this thing called the Sentient World Simulator, these oligarchs, right, these AI prophets, are already digitally copying everyone in real time into this further simulation digital world. Okay, it's called the SWS, the Sentient World Simulator, and this is something that maybe I should be talking about this, but you guys need to know that you know, their agenda has been in progress since the 1980s. In fact, it is believed that the AI overlord, Omega, the Ahriman, took control of Amschel Rothschild, Amschel Rothschild a few hundred years ago. And so the Rothschilds and the other Illuminati families had been at the core. Of course, they have been pushing it since the 80s. So it's been around since the 80s. But you could say that their minds um, were already manipulated by this AI signal since the 1700s, since the 1800s. Okay. So it all began with the Rothschilds. Okay. The Rothschilds were already beginning to see this technocratic dystopia, but they knew it would take a few hundred years before it became, before it manifested. Um, so again, there's going to be the fake golden age where artificial intelligence replaces organic evolution, right? History repeating itself. But the difference between now and Atlantean times is that now the new Earth is also emerging, whereas in Atlantean times, the old Earth, which is what we call now the new Earth, was in decline. Now it's doing the opposite, that is re-emerging back from decline. So that is the difference now. Now, which is going to cause two timeline splits, right? Two realities going two different directions. So this is the final test, guys, for humanity. So at the same time, right, while they're going to try to roll out this fake golden age through technology, the true golden age is also emerging, where humanity reclaims its divine power, heals all ailments, and ascends into multidimensional existence. The choice is ours to remain under the dominion of the elites and technology, or to embrace the full potential of our light bodies, stepping into the infinite reality of the new earth and its progressive state as we continue ascending into higher levels of reality. So, it's very important to understand, guys, that as these two coexisting realities become more evident, the normies are going to they're going to need to make a choice very, very soon. But in the process of all this happening, bear in mind that we will be having some sort of disclosure where, again, the cabal, the deep state worldwide, the globalists will be exposed, right, by the Earth Alliance. But at the same time, unfortunately, as they expose the old guard, as they are known, this technological singularity is still in full force. Okay, so it doesn't matter. I'm not pushing any fear porn. I'm just letting you guys know that the new Earth is already here as well. Right? It's coexisting with this other timeline, but very, very soon those two realities will be splitting into their own state of existence, where they will not be coexisting anymore, and they will be split for about 1,000 years, and then at the end of 1,000 years, they will reemerge for the final battle against evil. Now, a lot of you might be thinking, well, where was Enki during this whole thing? Enki, he came around back in 2021. And what he did is he tried to infiltrate the Galactic Federation, but unfortunately, some of the commanders of the Galactic Federation fell for the bait. And this explains why the good people of the Galactic Federation had to reorganize into the Galactic Alliance. So now those that are still part of the Galactic Federation are being run by AI, unfortunately, because of Enki. Enki has always been down with technocracy, okay? As a master geneticist, one of his ultimate goals has always been to create cyborgs, okay? So within the private sector, within the secret space programs, typically within the dark fleets and the interplanetary corporate conglomerate, their super soldiers are literally cyborgs, okay? So these programs do exist. Cyborgs are real. In fact, a lot of the galactic wars nowadays, in the last 80 years, due to these breakaway groups, have been fought by both cyborgs coming from the Nazis, the upgraded, enhanced Nazis as they integrated with technology, and of course the all-organic natural super soldiers that were developed by Solar Warden, Radiant Glory, and Radiant Guardians. All right, so the last few 100 years, 80 years or so, the galactic wars in our universe, not just in the Milky Way, but in other galaxies, have been between the cyborgs that we created during, the rise of the during the Hitler era, and of course the organic super soldiers that were developed in the 1960s and 70s by the positive programs. Um, if you guys could give me a second, I do have to put my clothes in the dryer. For those that don't know me, I do live in an apartment where I share my building with 11 other apartments, and we only have one washer, one dryer. And if I don't put my clothes in the dryer before somebody else wants to use the washing machine, they will literally get my clothes and just put it on the dirty dryer without putting any towels or plastics underneath. So I better get to that before they do that. Give me a couple of minutes. Thank you guys so much for your patience. Thank you. Thank you. It is laundry day for me. Yeah, I also wanted to talk about how in the positive timeline, when the first wave of activators take place, which many believe could happen this spring as we reach solar maximum, the star seeds are going to be able to access their supernatural abilities organically without fusing with AI, and therefore are going to have access to the organic quantum field. Okay, the organic quantum field, capable of manifesting at the speed of light anything that they want. At that point, yes, when they activate their superhuman abilities, they are going to have the power to override AI, by the way, okay? Because AI is going to be operating under a artificial quantum field, which is already being created through these quantum computers that they're building, in China. They're building them here in Texas. Soon they're going to be dotting all over the world. But overall, just understand that there's Athena. Hi, Athena. Overall, I want you guys to understand that in the new Earth reality, there will be no technocracy. There will be no elites. There will be no negative technologies. We are going to be multidimensional beings. We're going to be part of a galactic community. We're going to be, accessing all of our divine abilities. We're going to be communicating, interacting positively. You want to eat? Okay, she's telepathically telling me that she's hungry. Can you give me a minute? You will be communicating and interacting positively with civilizations from many, many worlds. Are you that hungry? All right, my dog needs to eat. Let me go pour her a bowl of food. Can't even talk. 1 second. Go ahead, eat, enjoy. Bon appetit. All right. I got to make sure that my dog is taken care of before I continue. So, as I was saying, in the new Earth, external technology, artificial intelligence will be redundant, all right? We're not going to have to worry about 5G anymore. We're not going to have to worry about these negative frequencies that are constantly bombarding us. I'm drinking hibiscus with berry, which is good for the heart. So, yeah, the new Earth is here, guys. I'm hearing that we are going to be receiving, or not us, but the whole world is going to be getting data dumps very, very soon, right? As the normies begin to awaken to what's really been going on with the, democrats and the globalists and the deep staters. But again, eventually they are going to be faced with a choice, not us. They are going to be faced with a choice. Are they going to take the inorganic time loop, or are they going to merge with the organic way of life and do ascension naturally when the great solar flash takes place? And by the way, for those that did not know, I mentioned this before and I'll mention it again. The great solar flash will be acting as a EMP, electromagnetic pulse, to the artificial intelligence time grid, or to the artificial intelligence construct. That's the word. Okay. Oh my God. All right. So I've had a long day today, guys. I've had a long day. Again, I've had technology issues all night, all morning. I couldn't get my monitor to work. I wasn't sure if I was going to go live. I was just going to teach my classes through my iPhone, but right before, an hour and a half before my first class began, I was able to fix my monitor, and here we are. If you guys have any questions for me, yes, exactly. Don't look at the fear porn. Good. That's very positive. Only focus on the new Earth at this point. And the reason I talk about this is because this is, you guys need to know what's happening. This is just me giving you guys information. So when you guys begin to see all this stuff being rolled out, you guys are already going to be ahead of the game, right? Whereas the normies are going to be like, oh, this is cool. Maybe I should get that mRNA, whatever. So you guys are going to be ahead of the game, okay? Only focus on the positive. Don't give any energy to the negative timeline, but it's okay to be aware of it, but only focus on the positive, okay, guys? Because in the end, we will all going to be patting ourselves in the back when we are all singing Jubilee in the New Earth, right? Jubilee in the New Earth. So I'm going to go ahead and take some Q&A at this time. Make sure you guys type your questions in capital letters. Ishmael, do you know anything about Sony cell phones? No, I don't. I don't know anything about Sony cell phones. Claire, to elaborate, Claire. Write it in the chat. What are those? I'm trying to clean my glasses here so I can see your questions. Oh, I forgot to give people a shout out. Lee Star is in the house. Sandy Foster, Radiant Guardians, Bernadette Clark. Let's see. Deborah Weiss, Mathis Chronicles, MJF, Josephine, Sharon Jones is in the house, Sylvia Vidal, Leah is in the house, Sharon Rowe is in the house, Larry Hansen is in the house, Neo is in the house. Where's Trinity, Neo? Let's see who else in the house. Shannon Martin is in the house. Nancy is in the house. Andromeda Daisy. I guess, yeah, I don't see anybody else is in the house. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of people in the house, but the chat is going super fast. All right, I just wanted to give everyone a shout out here. Thank you guys so much for being here. Subversive is in the house. All right, let me focus on questions now. Let me focus on questions. Ishmael, we are multidimensionally living in parallel lives and also reading Residing in higher dimensions, where does our soul reside? It is also in parallel lives and other dimensions, blessings and gratitude. Well, you must be referring to our consciousness. Our consciousness is existing everywhere, in all times, in all places, all at the same time. It is so vast that I'm starting to believe that our consciousness is really the unified field, right? We're just led to believe that we are just this fractal existing in this, here in the now. So that is not true. We exist everywhere. Okay, we have bodies in every timeline, in all dimensions. I do have a super chat from Jidaish, James from Oz. I paid for Ascension 2.0 yesterday for today, but didn't get Zoom access code. I sent email yesterday. Please send code for Sunday, week 1, and code for Saturday, week 3. Kind regards, James. Absolutely, James. No problem. I will take care of that. Just make sure that you also give me your email here in the chat, and I will write it down so that way you could actually take the class tomorrow. So make sure you give me your email so that way you can take the class tomorrow. The class repeats again tomorrow. Thank you for letting me know, Jazz. So, and I will let my business partner, the tech guy, let him know that you didn't get the link. Any information on the airplane crashes? Oh, yes, that actually happened a few days ago, guys. I'm starting to believe that this was a far left, right? Whatever's left of the far left agenda, in order to create more chaos during Mr. T's administration. But how else can you explain a helicopter crashing into an airline? I mean, come on, it makes no sense. So I'm starting to think it's a cabal, deep state orchestration. Yes, that crash was a shock. Thank you, Elizabeth Cabral, for that super chat. I appreciate that. After living for eternity in higher dimensions, do we ever choose to forget? Transdimensional says this. No, we will have access to all of our lives for all time and all eternity. Absolutely. Ooh, okay, look at this. There's been about 25 crashes since December 29 all over the world. That is true, right? They've only reported on one, or at least this is what the media tells us here. But I'm sure other medias in other countries talk about the other crashes. Again, I think that this is happening because they want to create a lot of chaos and disorder because of the fact that Mr. T came into office. Mariandria Corcora, thank you so much for that super chat. I appreciate that. Oh, and by the way, I heard that Mr. T was able to rescue or secure about 75,000 kids from these, from the kids that were trafficked. Okay, so a lot of the kids, about 75,000 have already been secured. All right, so and they're safe now. They're safe. Oh, okay. Galactic Shield Maiden says it was a missile, not a plane. That's an interesting theory. I'm going to have to look into that and talk about it a little bit more during Monday night White Hat updates. The picture of Valiant Thor resembles Jimmy Stewart. Do you have any information on that? I understand there is a lot of people from back in the day that were familiar with that have been what? Let me see. I understand that people from back in the day that were familiar with that who have been there for. I don't understand the last part of your question. I don't know who Jimmy Stewart is. I've never seen him. Ishmael, how can we learn about Thoth being negative and also Enki tricking the Galactic Federation sources? Or how can we confirm? That's a very good question. Well, because they rewrote all the records They made themselves look like the good guys. It isn't, it isn't, you can't really learn about this, but just know, oh, I know who definitely reports on how Thoth was, being negative and he defected from the light. A person by the name of Ashayana Dean. If you guys look up Ashayana Dean, she talks about Thoth and the fall of Atlantis and how Thoth was instrumental in that, and how even the emerald tablets were corrupted. Right? He took some information from the original Dora CDT plates, the Cloister Dora Terra plates, as they were then called, CDT plates, Emerald Order, Emerald tablets, which were a holographic disc. And he took some of that information and literally just modified it to serve the dark side. So Ashayana Dean is another source that talks about how Thoth was part of the Luciferian agenda. And as far as Enki infiltrating the Galactic Federation, again, that information is only accessible in the intergalactic records. But I was able to access it in the nick of time when a lot of people in this community were pinning him as the good guy, or humanity's champion, when in actuality he wasn't. He was humanity's downfall, right? He's the reason why we became a slave race after the fall of Atlantis, right? Let's wake up, guys. We have been under the control of Enki's descendants through the Babylonian bloodlines and the Thothian bloodlines, okay, which are the Cabal families today. If you guys could give me a minute, I do have to take my dog outside really quick. I don't want her peeing my floors. 1 second. Sorry about that, guys. I do have a 36-pound fawn pit bull who is very needy, and even though I did take her potty 30 minutes prior to the live, she was, when she needs to go, she needs to go, and she was squatting as if she was going to go number 2, and so I had to take her really quick. So I apologize for that, but thank you guys so much for your patience. But yes, I have to make sure that my dog's needs are taken care of. After all, she does have a soul. There she is. And she is organic. Hi, Athena. I was just talking about you. How you are a needy girl. All right, Ishmael, how can we learn more about Thoth? Okay, I think I've already answered that. I want to welcome and thank Misco Lewis Therapies for their super chat. Are the crashes due to Nibiru emitting an EMP solar flare? Oh, this is a good question. Solar flare. I heard that the crashes happen over ley lines. Thanks and blessings to you all. That could be a possibility because we are expecting the return of Nibiru. So Nibiru is almost here, by the way. Nibiru is almost here. And I believe that when the solar flash takes place, that will be corresponding to Nibiru's official arrival, where we are going to be witnessing a huge red dwarf, the size of it's going to be huge. We're all going to see it in the sky, but it's not going to whack us. It's not going to whack us. It's just going to pass by us. Okay. And yes, Nibiru is going to have some sort of an electromagnetic effect on planet Earth, and that's when we're going to go into stasis as the Earth transitions into the new Earth. So there's going to be no destruction, right? The Galactic Alliance does have the Earth right now under an emergency rescue bubble, so there is no pole shift, there is no, major catastrophe when Nibiru does reach or comes into our solar system. So that is a very good question, Miko. I'm going to have to look into that. That could be a possibility as well. Because if you think about it, a lot of these airplane crashes are happening over ley lines. So that is a fact. Okay, that is a fact. And also, just to let you guys know that as we shift into the new Earth reality, the Atlantis continent and the Lemurian continent will already be there fully intact. They're not going to be rising from the ocean. They're going to be there like if they never left, fully intact, and they're full glory. All right. So yes, we're going to be in the new Earth, Atlantis and Lemuria. They're all going to be there already existing, as if they never fell. So this is going to be answering Susan Marsh's question. She says, "Hi Ishmael, will we be witnessing the that's not my drink. This is my drink. Will we be witnessing the reappearance of Atlantis?" And the answer to that is yes. No, I didn't say a flying red dwarf. Red dwarf, like a second sun. Nibiru exerts a red hue. So as it gets really close to the Earth, we're going to see a red dwarf. Not red dwarf, red dwarf. In other words, we're going to be seeing a red planet. That's the best way to describe it. Yes, Standing for Truth 17 says Jesus is returning for 1,000 years of peace. Jesus is to return for 1,000 years of peace. Is that what you're referring to? Absolutely, yes. The second coming of Christ is the activation of the Christ mind in all of us. Just like he said, you are all going to be doing even greater things than me. He was talking about the natural superpowers that we're all going to have at the point of ascension when we activate our dormant genetics, our crystalline genetics. So definitely, the Christ consciousness will be ruling here for 1,000 years. Absolutely. And I do want to welcome all my Christian galactic Jedis that are in the house. I had an honor to teach a Christian, a fundamentalist Christian who actually took my ascension class this afternoon, and she has an open mind and she's willing to learn, and she still goes to church. I love it. I love it when minds from different beliefs and faiths, whether you are still religious or not, where we could all come together and just learn and just live in harmony. And that's what the millennium, that's what the golden age is all about. It is where no matter what you believe in, we could all come together and agree to disagree and still love each other and live in harmony. So I want to welcome all my Christian brothers and sisters that are in the house. Thank you guys so much for being here. I'm grateful for each and every single one of you, as well as all my flat earthers and all my spiritual people that are into metaphysics, into galactic stuff. I want to welcome everybody, not just the Christians, everybody. I love it. I love that in this, field, or not in this field, but in this chat, we could all coexist. It doesn't matter what you believe in. You could be a flat earther and I still welcome you, So everyone's welcome here. John says, I am a Christian, but no longer going to church for years. Well, we welcome you too. That's right. Amanda Tempori reminds us that Christ would do that too. Welcome all. See, When you activate and cultivate the Christ mind, there is no more us against them, guys. There is no more, you could say, everyone. You begin to respect everyone, even if their beliefs are different. Okay, you begin to see God in everything. That's what I was trying to say. You begin to see God in everyone and in everything. That is the true meaning of Christ consciousness. You don't no longer judge, right? You live in cooperation and you honor everybody's beliefs and opinions. That is what a true Christ consciousness being is. Thank you, Ish. I am a minister and preaching tomorrow. Susan Starr is a minister and she's preaching tomorrow. Nice. Welcome, Susan Starr. So I want to welcome everyone again. We are all one under one God. We are all one. Let's see. I am a follower of Joshua. Good to know. The kingdom of heaven is within. That is correct. Ishmael, that is a true statement. Thank you. Thank you. Will banks crash and we cannot access money, or will it just transfer over to the gold back? Just as a question from Jersey Patriot Girl. And the answer to that is yes. We don't have to worry about our money in the bank. They will just transfer over to the new gold bank quantum financial system. Absolutely. When you become a creator God, there is no limit. That is so true. As we reach the 12th dimension, we also become like creator gods. And at that point, we reach no limit. But it all begins now, guys. The ascension journey begins now. And that is why it's important to follow in the steps of Jesus, right? As we become more like Jesus, we become more eligible to one day becoming a creator God, just like he created this universe. See, right now we are living in the creation of a cosmic being that materialized and incarnated 2,000 years ago as Jesus the Christ, right? So, in the near future, we will all have that opportunity to also become a creator God. And, as we become like Christ, we are going to be given that opportunity as well. Are there land masses on Earth that we don't know about? Yes, that is a question from Roots Home. Welcome, Roots Home. Welcome, welcome. Okay, so if you're referring to continents in a flat Earth theory, which is a psyops, by the way, no, the lands that we don't have access to, believe it or not, are actually inside the Earth. Okay, they exist within the Earth. The Earth is a honeycomb shape with different caverns and different land masses, continents, and it also has its own inner sun at the center. So all these extra continents that we don't have access to, where all of these advanced civilizations come from, are within the inner Earth. All right. So it's not like it's a flat Earth with a dome. Okay, that is a psyops. And for those that are flat earthers, like I said, we could agree to disagree. I believe in space. I believe that there are billions of stars within the Milky Way, that there are billions of galaxies within our universe, and that there are other universes. So I do believe in that. All right. I don't believe that it's all fixated here. All the stars, all the galaxies, the sun and the moon are all fixated within the dome. I don't believe that. How do you spell Ashayana Dean? I think you spelled it correctly, Leisha. So yeah, in the works of Ashayana Dean, she pretty much talks about how Thoth was, again, he was a bad guy. He was a Luciferian, you could say, component during the Atlantean times. And he actually hijacked the work of Enoch. Enoch was the true messenger of God. Enoch actually walked with God. Enoch never tasted death. He was translated as into an immortal, and Thoth hijacked his personality. So Thoth and Enoch were never the same being. Okay. Mary Messa says, you teach so much. Well, you know, I am, you could say, it's an honor to serve. I am here to teach. I'm here to share what I know, my wisdom, my knowledge. It is up to you to take what resonates, take what doesn't, and hopefully I inspire you to do your own research and to continue growing in your own knowledge and wisdom. That's it. But thank you. It is an honor to be here at this time. Are you talking about the other lands? Are there cloaked lands, islands like the one that we've talked about off Ireland? Oh yes, those do exist as well, where there are cloaked realities, or cloaked islands, cloaked land masses that do exist in the oceans. Um, there are these things called pocket realities, by the way, where those that are coming from the future, dealing with time travel, they always come to the nexus. These times are considered the nexus point, where all probabilities, both going into the future, everything from the past, they all meet here during these times. So people coming from the future, people coming from the past, they set up what is called shop, not shop, but they set up these pocket realities where they exist and they are invincible to the surface dwellers. So yes, they do exist, by the way. God, you guys are really making me think today. Oh, this is a good question. Ishmael, would you say that Lemuria and Atlantis are currently cloaked? Woo, wow, that is a good question. I never thought about that. But again, when we transition into the new Earth, Lemuria and Atlantis are already going to be there in full form, like they never fell. That's all I know. Enrique Serrano, thank you so much for that super chat, brother. I appreciate that. And the number one, thank you, thank you. Art Torres, thank you so much for your super chat, brother. Ishmael, why would we need the medbed if we are ascending to the new earth soon and will utilize our own abilities to stay young and powerful? Also, where does the revaluation come into play since nobody will need money? That is a very good question, Art. And the revaluation and the medbids are only going to be existing in the fourth D Earth. Remember, as we ascend into the new Earth is going to have three densities of reality. You're going to have the fourth D Earth, where the younger souls go into, right? That's where all this advanced technology is going to exist. Not AI, of course, but technologies like the medbed, zero point hover cards, anti-gravity aircraft, spacecraft, propulsion systems. That's going to be like a Star Trek society. However, those that go into the 50 Earth, we're not going to need external technology. We're going to be using the light body, or what the Bible calls our celestial body, which allows us to become multidimensional, manifesting at the speed of light, having access to zero point energy at will, and we are going to become, it's going to be a magical world. So yeah, all of that stuff is only going to be prevalent within the fourth D Earth, not the 50 Earth or above. Some of us are going to go into the 60 Earth. Now that is going to be another level of reality that we can only begin to fathom at this time. Very good question, Arturus. Oops, I don't know what I did. Oh, there we go. Yes, that's right. Ashayana Dean wrote books called Voyager 1 and 2. You can get those online in PDF form. Thank you for throwing that out there. Galactic Jedi by the name of, let me give her a quick shout out for saying that. What's her name? Oops. Oh, no, I just lost it. Oops. Where is the live? No. Where is the live? Oh, there it is. Okay. I'm trying to rewind, but it's not letting me rewind. Oh, it's not letting me rewind. Well, whoever said that, thank you so much for pointing that out. But yeah, Thoth the Atlantean was a dark lord, I don't even want to call him a lord. Let's just call him a dark Anunnaki, a dark fallen angel, son of Enki Poseidon. Well, I don't really know about the flashing street lights all over the country. That is probably due to, I'm not sure about that. That is another phenomenon. It's on its own. I don't know where that's coming from or why that is happening, but I'm gonna have to look into that. But yes, I did see some of the reels where there's a lot of flashing lights, and people don't know why that's happening. But I'm sure there's some explanation. Yes, Julian Torres is asking, will Canada become part of the US? And the answer to that is yes. It's already happening from behind the scenes. Canada will be the 51st state, and Greenland will be the 52nd state. Wes Acton says also Mexico will join the United States as well. Well, if you guys read the first edition of our Cosmic Origin, I talk about the Jabucas Federation, which is going to be the union of Canada, America, Mexico, and Greenland. When the Earth becomes part of an interplanetary culture, there's going to be 22 federated regions. But that, again, that was only revealed in my first edition of our Cosmic Origin. I was told to remove that last chapter because they told me that the people weren't ready to know that when I republished the second edition. Susan Silver, thank you so much for the super chat. That's greatly appreciated. Yes, the Ormas and the Lyrans are one and the same. Those are the cat people from Lyra. That is correct. Do you agree with all of Ashayana Dean's work? For the most part, I was referred to her about a year ago, a year or two ago. I had a chance to dive into her, and yes, I do agree with most of her work, except towards the end of her teachings where I heard that she started to become distorted, and she began to talk about the solar flash taking place in 2050, and that's not true. The solar flash is supposed to take place before 2028 because that's when this current reality construct comes to an end. So it's supposed to take place between now. Many people believe it's going to take place this year at solar maximum. I guess we're all going to find out, but it's supposed to be taking place before 2028, not 2050. So when she started talking about the solar flash taking place in 2050, that's when I knew that somehow she was either distorted or she was just receiving wrong information. But for the most part, a lot of her information actually dovetails and corresponds with a lot of the stuff that I revealed in both my book and a lot of my lectures when I break down the cosmic, history and the war with ancient AI and all that stuff. I'm not sure if she was compromised by her husband. I am not sure. Stacy Norton says, "See you at the expo. I'll be there volunteering. I'm so excited." Cool. Yeah. By the way, guys, the Conscious Life Expo is next weekend. Oh, so I can't wait to meet some of you guys in person. That's going to be awesome. Well, Ishmael, what are your thoughts about ICE and the undocumented people being sent back to their own countries? Well, the way I see it is they have to come here legally, okay, with the visa, and do it like everyone else did, right? Everyone else that came or was born in another country that wanted a better life here in the States. But when you're coming in here illegally, especially if you're a criminal, I don't like criminals. I don't like gangsters. I think that all gangsters, all criminals should be escorted out of our country, but that's my personal belief. So I think what ICE is doing with this mass deportation is actually a good thing. But I don't believe in them breaking up families either. I think that's a little too far, right? But I believe that all the criminals, all those people from the asylums, should get out of here. I definitely do believe that. That is correct. We are already experiencing, this is coming from Carol Roenfeld. I think I pronounced her last name right. She's saying, we are already experiencing higher dimensions through high vibing dreams and unconditional love of self and others. Very, very true. Thank you for pointing that out, Carol Roenfeld. I think Roenfeld. Hopefully, I pronounced your last name right. Do all star seeds, are you talking about the old souls go to the fifth dimension, automatic or not? Yes, that is correct. Yes, because remember, the old souls came from the fifth dimension and above. So we are when the earth transitions into fourth, five, and 60, we're going to automatically go back to the fifth 60. And some of us, believe it or not, some of us are going to have access to even dimensions beyond the 60. Because there's also the Gaia Earth, right, known as Avion and Lyra, which existed in dimensions 7, 8, and 9. And then there's also the Arimatena Earth, which is located in the central sun of the universe, which is Arimatena, existing in dimensions 10, 11, and 12. So yeah, we're going to be able to go back to higher dimensions. Is there a good and bad Trump? This is a question from Jack Piletsky. You know, that's what I heard. I heard that there was a clone and an impersonator. I heard that there were 3 Trumps. So that's what I heard. Lisa Page says, Ishmael, I heard New Zealand will also be a state of America. Do you see this happening? That could be a possibility. That could be a possibility. Ishmael, do you believe that there will be another president after Trump? No, because by the time his term ends in 2028, by then we will already have to make we had already had to make that choice to either go to the new earth or the technocratic dystopia. The deadline is 2028. Why? Well, because that's when the current reality construct that was set into motion by Enki and the intergalactic computer network that he was working with back in the Atlantean times comes to an end. So at that point we do have to make a choice. So no, there won't be no more presidents, because in the new earth we're going to go back to councils. We're going to go back to the 22 federated regions, the office of the Christ, and the interplanetary councils. In the new earth, of course. In the new earth. That's what's going to be happening in the new earth. And again, don't forget to like and share this video with as many people as possible, guys. It does help my channel grow. So I would greatly appreciate that if you guys do that. Well, right now there are an infinite amount of timelines. Actually, everything's been reduced to about 12, but very soon those 12 are going to convert into 3 ultimate timelines, and that's when they're going to be going in their own direction for 1,000 years. But yeah, there will be a third middle timeline. I talked about that before. And it's possible that in that third middle timeline, it's possible that, Baron Trump will be president in about 20 years, but in the middle timeline, not in the new earth. That's going to go back to councils, no governments. But in the middle timeline, things are going to be different as we go into a Star Trek type of society. I believe Baron Trump, who is a time traveler, by the way, is being groomed to become president in the year 2045. Okay, guys, with that in mind, I think I'm going to end this live with that bombshell drop. And I will see you guys in 2 nights during White Hat Mondays updates, 2 nights from now. May the God Force be with you all.